Hello boys and girls. So today we're going to be looking at seaside holidays. Seaside holidays now and how we go to the seaside and what we do now. And what happened long ago, because do you know it was rather different. So here we go. Seaside holidays now and then. Okay, let's have a little look. So, modern seaside holidays. Today, most people like to go abroad for a seaside holiday. Not all of them, of course, but lots of people. Because it is quite cheap and very sunny for sunbathing. So look, this is a picture of people that have gone abroad. That means they've gone in an aeroplane and they've flown abroad. Now, not all seaside holidays are abroad nowadays, but lots are, I suppose. However, seaside holidays in Victorian times. So this is a long time ago, boys and girls. This is so long ago, not even Mum or Dad were alive. Mrs. Arthur wasn't alive. Long ago. Seaside holidays back then, during Victorian times, were very different. Most Victorians would go to a British seaside, such as Blackpool, because flying to another country wasn't an option. And so, in school, we've talked a lot about how technology and things have changed over the years. And back then, people didn't tend to go abroad. They tended to stay in our country. And it says, they believed that the sea air was good for you. And we always talk about the sea air being good for us now, don't we? Now, let's have a look at what was different. Look at this picture. Now, seaside holiday in Victorian times. Sunbathing wasn't fashion back then, so it wasn't fashionable to sit in the sun. So, Victorians would go to the beach fully clothed. So they'd wear all of their clothes to the beach. And sea bathing was done instead. So they enjoyed going into the water, but they weren't really very keen on sitting on the beach and sunbathing. Some beaches were divided for men and women. So that meant that the mums would go on one part of the beach and the dads would go on to a different part of the beach sometimes. Now, beaches were a lot cleaner back then, as there was not as much packaged food and snacks. Now look, nowadays we do have people that clean beaches, and I know that here at Tavern Spite we've even done our own beach clean. And that's because lots of the litter perhaps gets left behind. But of course, during Victorian times, a long time ago, they didn't need to do that because there was less packaging of the food and things. Now, look at this. Look at that picture there. This is called a bathing machine. Can you see? Can you see that there? That lady's getting into it, look, and it's right in the water. These were carriages in which the women would change into their bathing costume. A horse would then pull it towards the sea, and the women would lower themselves into it without being seen. So look, the horses, can you see that picture there, look? The horses would pull the bathing carriage into the water, and the lady would then be able to get back in without being seen. Okay? Goodness me, it's quite different, isn't it? But not everything is different, and not everything has changed. Look, it says, things that have not changed. People still love eating ice cream and building sandcastles. So look at this lovely picture from long ago. Look, there, these little boys here are all eating an ice cream. And I know that when we go to the beach, we all enjoy an ice cream too. And of course, building sandcastles, that was popular back in Victorian times, just as it is now too. So although there are some differences, some things are the same. Can you spot any other differences and similarities between these two photos? Well, first of all, let's have a look at what the ladies are wearing. I wonder, are they similar or are they different? Have a little look at how many people there are. What is similar and what is different? Because although there are differences, some things are still the same. And here in this book, Seaside Holidays, my history book, there's some lovely, lovely information about how people would travel to the beach. Now look at that amazing picture. Look at that. Now that's something quite different indeed, isn't it? It says, in the past, people went to the seaside in buses called charabancs. That's a lovely word there. Can you see that? Charabancs or charabang. How are these charabancs different from buses today? Well, that's a really good question. Have a little look at that bus. That doesn't look like a bus that we would travel in nowadays, does it? And so, even travelling to the beach was different then. Let's have one more look at a historic photograph of people at the beach. Now, during Victorian times, as you can see that picture there? The beaches were very, very busy. And it was usually, during Victorian times, it was usually this busy when there was something called a bank holiday, or certainly in the height of the summer. But you all need to remember, of course, back then, some of the dads were lots of them were probably farmers and miners and doing all of those manual jobs. So it was often a case that if you went to the beach, it was a great big adventure. They wouldn't just pop there after school. It would be a lovely, lovely celebration time. It would be a time when the dads were able to take the whole family. So it was a time to be cherished. Now here in Pembrokeshire, we have some lovely beaches to go to, don't we? And I know that you've all got your favourite beaches. So this week we're going to be talking about seaside holidays that we go and have and enjoy now compared to what they were like long ago. Okay, thank you.